our family, our whatever we do to experience abundance. So it's called the Joseph Blueprint in the Modern World. So we have to look at today the Joseph Blueprint for success in the modern world. Joseph Blueprint for success in the modern world. Okay. Today is 18th. This is part 1, 18th of 5, 2026. The month is telling us I'm gradually packing my load, applying our divine insight for business and world success. Okay? Applying divine insight. Okay? For business and world success. For business and world success. So he did something very interesting. So you have outline here. Outline here. Number 1, context for concept. Context for the concept. Number 2, we have the gift. The giftings. The giftings. This is just a little bit. / talent. Okay. He has the marketplace mandate. The marketplace mandate. And number 3, the economic profit. Number 4, number 5, the deception of prosperity. The deception of prosperity. Okay, so we'll be discussing these 5 outlines so that we can actually learn something and apply in our business, in our family, in our going out, in our coming in. Whoever that gets in contact with us will be empowered, will be inspired to become more as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, and an investor. So because all of us are gifted, and those our giftings are coming to us in a raw form. So our job is to discover, develop, and deploy, as Joseph did in the marketplace. So he was more useful in the Pharaoh's palace than in the pulpit. He was more useful in the palace than in the temple. He was more useful. His gifting was more useful. Like some of us, our giftings are more useful in the marketplace than in the pulpit. Our gifts are more useful in our family, in our business, in our investment. So not everybody were to use all their gifts only on the pulpit. Some of us will become more useful in the marketplace, will become more useful in the marketplace to become more impactful. So we are looking at the blueprint for business success. So applying divine insight to economic reality, the blueprint of Joseph. So, and please write it down, very important. Let's start the first one, context for the concept. Context for the concept, write it down. Right now, we all are gifted by God. We all are gifted by God. We all are gifted God. We all are gifted by God with talent, with vitality, with fidelity, of course, ideas, concepts, etc. We all are gifted by God with talent, with vitality. We all are gifted with God with talent, with vitality, with fidelity, with ideas, with concepts, with innovation, with strategy, etc. So we are all gifted. But those gifts are always in the raw material form. Those gifts are coming in form of potentials. So the marketplace doesn't reward you for potentials. The marketplace rewards you for what you have converted your potentials into. Convert your potentials into products or services that is useful to someone else, useful to a nation, useful to a community. So you must convert your giftings, your talent, your vitality that is in potentials, in raw material form, to valuable products or services usable by other people. So you can see the life of Joseph provides a blueprint for How kingdom citizens create value, influence systems, and facilitate wealth transfer in the marketplace. Let's write that down on a note. The life of Joseph provide a blueprint, because we are going to look at a case study about Joseph and how we can put it today. The life of Joseph provides a blueprint for how kingdom citizens, entrepreneurs like me and you, create value. The market, the life of Joseph provides a blueprint for how kingdom citizens, bracket open, entrepreneur, bracket closes, create value, comma, influence, comma, systems, and facilitate wealth transfer in the marketplace. The life of Joseph provides a blueprint for how kingdom citizens, bracket open, entrepreneur, bracket closes, create value, comma, influence, comma, systems, and facilitate wealth transfer in the marketplace. Full stop. Please, if you're not written anything down, write this one today, because we're going to look at a case study of a man who actually converted his giftings into valuable products or services. So I said, the life of Joseph provides a blueprint for the kingdom citizen. The life of Joseph provides a blueprint for the kingdom citizen, bracket open, entrepreneur, bracket closes, create value, comma, influence, comma, systems, and facilitate wealth transfer in the marketplace. So, most always say, if I was in Joseph's time, I would have done better. Yeah, that was his time. This is our time. We can also do better here. So, let me go back once again. Right on your note, the life of Joseph provides a blueprint for the kingdom citizen, bracket open, entrepreneurs, bracket closes, creates value, comma, influence, comma, system, and facilitate wealth transfer in the marketplace. You have written that one down. Shall I? Okay, I need to read some things for you, but you don't need to write this one down. Listen just carefully. Prophetic economic in the application of prophetic economic is the application of spiritual insight to economic events and environment. It means seeing what others cannot see and position ahead against any forms of destruction. And prophetic insight creates strategic advantage. It happens in Isaiah. I'm not a pastor, we are still in context of the concept. Isaiah 48, verse 17. Isaiah 48, verse 17. The place says something. It says, I am the Lord, your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way that you should go. That means God actually deposited part of his creativity inside of us and direct us to go and refine them and become useful in the market. But some of us are refused. I will show you what happened to a lot of entrepreneurs who are gifted. All of us are, even though you are born naked, you are not born empty. God deposits part of his creativity in all of us. It doesn't come in different sizes and the same shape. It don't come in the same size and same shape. It comes in different sizes and different shapes, like in terms of gifting, talent, vitality. So you have something that only you have that is different from every other person in this world. Until you bring that thing that is value into converting them into valuable products or services, you will not remain. You will still remain unfulfilled. So Joseph, the interpreter of dreams and nightmares. No, when it was his brother, he was a dreamer. When he was in Egypt, he became the dream interpreter. So there are two different Joseph at different places and different environment. We'll come to that. There's an environment that you can never grow beyond your size. I will give you an example of a goldfish who never grow beyond the size of the bowl or the pond you put the goldfish. We put in a larger pond or a larger bowl, it will grow as much as that bowl. So some of us cannot grow beyond the way we find ourselves in the environment, in our families. The people that sabotage us shrink us. They shrink us. They want to please everybody. If you need people's opinion to succeed, then you always be shrink into their idea, into their brain, into their opinion. So the account of Joseph impacted on Egypt is found in the book of Genesis, and especially in this passage I will mention to you. And Genesis gave more chapter, created Joseph account more than Abraham. They recorded Joseph's story in many more chapters than the one of Abraham. To tell you, a man that used to not to blame his father, not to blame his circumstances, not to blame his brother, not even when they want to get rid of him, he didn't blame anybody. And it's very interesting that he was so focused, stay on focus. Because divided attention is divided energy. Once you lose your focus, you've lost energy. They will focus on the bad thing. Every rich and wealthy man interprets every situation in a way that empowers them. So you do bad to them, they interpret it in a way that empowers them. If it doesn't matter, it's meant for me. If you bring a glass to you, I said, the glass is half full or half empty. A poison man will say glass full. But a billionaire, a wealthy man will say, I can always refill the glass whenever I want it. That means we create our own version of our story that empowers us. Then create your own version of your own story that empowers you. Let's just look at how Joseph treated his story and then bring it to our life today. So the first one happened. Number one, the story is under giftings and concepts. A happens in Genesis, of course, 41, 1, 1 to 32. He talked about Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream of 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Number two account story I want to look at, because we look at all these things in our life. Happens in Genesis, of course, 41, of course, 33 to 36. 33 to 36. So the first one happened, second one happened. Joseph advised Pharaoh to apply a wise leader and store surplus during the years of during the good years. Number three happens, look at his account, Genesis 41, 41, of course, 37 to 30 to 45. 45. This was Pharaoh's appointing Joseph as second in command over Egypt. Number D happens in Genesis 41, okay, 46 to 49. 40 to 49. Joseph gathered and stored vast amounts of grains during the years of abundance. And E happens in Genesis, of course, 41, 46. Okay, Genesis 41, that is E, 53 to 57. 53 to 57. I'll bring all these things to our life today. Very interesting when I do this connection. So you can understand that you're living in a